And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, November the 7th, 2020. It's season 14, only episode number 32. I know, right? We'll talk about that. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
Welcome to the show, everybody. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. Hold calls, please, just for a little bit. Check out ingamechat.net for the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at ingamechat. You can also find us on Facebook. You can email us, everyone at ingamechat.net. Some of you do. Some of you don't. That's fine, too. Doesn't matter. You can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv, ingamechat. You can find us there. You watch us live while we do the show. Join in the chat room with everybody while we do the show as well. And participates, which we love when you do that, basically. Whether you watch the show, join in the chat room, send us emails, Facebook tweets, whatever. Just love when you participate, so we appreciate that. Yeah, let me do this thing real quick to, I got to remember all the stuff that we do here.
Yeah, because it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, and it's been just a whirlwind of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Here. Well, I say here. Me. Been a whirlwind of stuff. My voice is not particularly all the way back, and I noticed that it got a little bit more, it got weaker when we just came on the air. I think that was because I was climbing the stairs. The studio that we have here sits upstairs, and I can't. My first day back to work was on Monday, after 2 weeks away, and which would have been three. It's been like 3 Saturdays we've missed.
Yeah, 2 for issues and 1 because I was out of town.
Yeah. He was out of. Well, I was not coming back that day anyway.
Yeah,
even on Halloween. Like if you were still in town, if you were still in town for Halloween, we were not having a show. Which I hate because I always enjoy our October shows because you get to play the spooky music, get to take a, kind of a deter away from the usual stuff that we play and find some nice scary music to enjoy. So October the 16th, we were not scheduled to have a show. That happened to be my birthday weekend. My birthday was on Sunday, October the 18th. And so we were not scheduled to have a show. There were plans and everything else. We're just like, we're not going to have a show. We're going to come back the next week and do one. And then it was up in the air whether RJ would make Halloween or not. But, given if everything was going to go fine, I was probably still going to come in and do a Halloween show. It's Halloween. And it was the night of Halloween. So it was going to be a lot of fun. We were going to same old show, but it was still going to be a lot of fun. Anyway. Friday on the 16th after work, Friday on the 16th, I wasn't feeling too well. And then towards the end of the workday, I was feeling even worse. I could tell I was running a fever of some sort. I went home and checked. It was 99. And then I went to the doctor. And when they finally saw me almost 2 hours later, because I had to fill out all this information. When they finally saw me almost 2 hours later, it had gone up to 102. My fever had. And so they checked. And I was diagnosed with COVID. And that was the start. That fever that started on Friday the 16th did not leave until Saturday the 24th. And it was fever. There was never a break in fever. There was times when I thought my fever had broken, where I felt sweaty and stuff, and I felt like I was normal. In fact, I think there was a time where it did break normal for, I think, about 6 hours. And then it went right back to being above 100. And, it was high 99, over 100 at least, sometimes into the 101 category.
Yeah.
It never got to 10. I think it did get to 103 at once, but it never got to 104, obviously. But it did get to, it got real close to 103.
Yeah, good when it's up in the triple digits.
No, it was horrible. Mm-mm. So I dealt with that for like 7 days of a constant fever. It was horrible. It was a horrible time. Fever keeps you from doing anything. I honestly, when I first initially got diagnosed with COVID, I thought, well, I'm going to kick this fever this weekend and I'm going to have to sit at home for 2 weeks. Okay, I'll put in a lot of time with Destiny or something, I'll play some games. That was not the case. When we get to the part where we talk about what games we played, I've had 3 weeks to play games and I haven't played a thing. I was able to finish up the Destiny Halloween stuff. Thank God I had everything good to go for that. And I was able to finish that up the very next Saturday on the 17th, which all that really required me doing was open up a bunch of chests so I could actually start the 15-minute timer, sit there and not actually play it and wait till it ran out and then open up the chest and just do that over and over again. And that's all I had to do. So really that was it. And I mean, once that was done, I turned it off. Never turned it on again. They even got to the point where Animal Crossing was something that I would log in every day and kind of do my little daily stuff with. There was a point there where I just didn't care anymore. I did not feel like it. I was miserable and I just didn't care. So I broke that habit too. I say that habit, tradition, whatever. I broke routine. I broke that. I didn't do that either. So 7 days of fever. Finally went back to the ER on Saturday morning. That's when the fever broke. The ER kept me there for about 8 hours, and they were running tests. They took a whole lot of blood, and they ran a CAT scan on me, which is where they found the pneumonia, and it was in both lungs. And so they gave me something for that, but they were able to let me leave and go and get my prescription that they had given me, which was an inhaler and a steroid. Well, the steroid jacked up my white blood count, apparently, possibly. There's other reasons they have for when your white blood count gets accelerated. But there was concern when I went back to the doctor to test again for COVID, where the test was negative, but the white blood count was unusually high. When I was in the hospital on Saturday, my white blood count was at 5. And on Tuesday, my white blood count was at 16. So they were really concerned as to why it had jumped up so much, like what else is going on. So it's back to the trip to the hospital again. And they kept me there. And basically, I was basically on a stretcher in a hallway for most of the time. And they didn't have rooms. They didn't have anything going on. Or they didn't have places to, put people. Just like there were other people. It wasn't just me. There's plenty of other people who looked way worse than I did on a stretcher in a hallway in the ER being dealt with. So they, again, stuck me. I've got, you can't really see it anymore. There's a bruise here, but I've got a nasty bruise here. It's starting to heal. I got a real nasty bruise here. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that one's there because I don't remember them poking me there. I thought they poked me here, but I don't know. I don't know why that's there. But, yeah, so anyway, took a lot more. They took more blood. They did everything. They looked at it and they said, they basically said, look, your white blood cells are up because of 3 possible things. Stress, which stress was something that you get when you have a fever. There was another possible reason. The other one was, oh goodness, what was it? Oh, the steroid that they had given me on Saturday possibly increased my white blood count. Mm-hmm. So they stopped me. They said, yeah, don't take the steroid anymore. And they put me on antibiotics. So, pretty much that week, everything got cleared up. and I was back to work on Monday. It was weak. My voice was weak. My voice is weak now because these stairs, I don't have any strength in my legs. I can tell you that now. I don't. From going up those stairs to come up here and start this, then I went downstairs because it was getting close it was getting close to the showtime. Yeah. I thought, I went downstairs because I just thought he's going to be calling him and he's going to be here.
Yeah.
Well, when I got downstairs, you hadn't shown up yet, and it was getting close, and I realized that I hadn't set up the music and everything else. I realized I hadn't set up everything here. And so I was worried about the show ahead of us, which is pre-recorded and playing on tape type stuff. I was worried about it stopping early and starting our stuff, and I was like, oh, gosh, I'm not prepared. So I came back up here, got everything ready. You called and was ready to go downstairs, so I went back downstairs, let you in, and then came back up the stairs again.
Then you changed the water out.
Yeah, that's something I haven't done in a while, which was no problem. Upper body strength seems to be fine. But whatever. I have been basically bedridden for about 3 weeks, and I rarely got out of bed for that week I had the fever. I rarely got out of bed unless I was going to the doctor, the hospital, whatever reason. I rarely really ever got out of bed at all. It was miserable. That first week was miserable. 7 days consistent of fever. 7 days constantly waking up every few hours, taking some Tylenol or the Alka-Seltzer or whatever, and trying to go back to sleep. Sleep was something you got whenever you could. And I got better sleep in the daytime than I did in the nighttime. Trying to sleep at night was okay, but it was rarely done. And during the day, for whatever reason, it was much easier for me to sleep during the day.
Not only laying up in bed, your sleep schedule was thrown out of order, wasn't it?
No, my sleep schedule didn't care. My sleep schedule was, I wasn't waking up at 4:30.
Okay.
Like I normally do to get up to do the show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was not waking up at 4:30. With everything I was taking, usually by 4:30 I was already awake because I just wasn't being able to sleep very well. And so, I didn't have any alarm set or anything else going off that entire time. But usually about 8 o'clock in the morning was like a real good twilight time for me, to where I could kind of get a few hours in. And then I would check on some work stuff around 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. And then about 11 a.m. again, like even if I could eat, sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't. I was still able to, get some sleep, and then afternoons would be good too. Nights were not good for sleeping. So it was 7 days of fever is just really miserable. 7 days of fever is, and I understand that people have gotten COVID, and they have had they've had a different experience than I've had. Better, worse. There's been, obviously worse because there's deaths, and so. But other worse things about being put on a ventilator, having to go to the hospital and the breathing and that sort of thing. And I never got to the point where I had to be on a ventilator. I was on plenty of things, poked into my body and monitoring things, but was never put on a ventilator. The most I ever had, like I said, was the CAT scan when they found the pneumonia. So, but 7 days of fever, there is a point where, and I don't know if it comes sooner or later for other people, because I've never experienced a fever for 7 days. That Friday when I was still dealing with that was a hard day for me. I will say this: I went to my local doctor on Wednesday. This is the Wednesday afterwards. I went to my local doctor on Wednesday, and they had to put me in. They moved me. I had to go in through the back. They don't send you through the lobby if you got COVID. They you go through the back. In fact, when you get diagnosed with COVID, they don't send you out front either. They send you out the back. So you see people coming out of the back of a doctor's office or one of those Pri-Med places. Something's happened. They're not coming out there for a smoke or because it's just more convenient. That they're being directed out there because there's something horribly wrong with them.
When our workplace was like that, we all had to go get tested. We had to go out the back door of the facility.
After you'd been tested?
Yeah.
Even if it was negative?
No, there was no result. There was no immediate result.
Oh, you didn't have immediate result.
You had to sit there and wait for, how many days we had to wait? Well, it was a few days we had to wait, but either way, we weren't going out the front door. In fact, we had to come in through the back and leave out the back.
Interesting.
For getting
this
tested,
was, I got checked at something called American Family Care. It's like a Pri-Med.
AFC across from,
this was in Prattville. This was in Prattville, yeah.
Well, this is the place I went to, AFC across from Target in East Chase.
Yeah, and they have like a 15-minute, a 15-minute COVID test. It's, by the way, it's 15 minutes, give or take 15 minutes.
When they feel like it.
Yeah. Well, when you're running 102 fever, yes. Yeah. Waiting on that result. Mm-hmm. Not that it matters. At that point, you're running 102 fever. If you're coming in to tell me I got COVID, okay, but let's fix the fever. Mm-hmm. And I will say, getting tested for COVID is not fun. They do go, for me, they go way up there, way up the nose, very far up the nose. They did a flu and they did a COVID, and the flu was negative. The COVID was positive. But they go way back up the nose. Not fun. But when you get to that point of 7 days of a fever, there is a huge sense of hopelessness. There's a huge sense of this is never going to end. Why is this never going to end? Mm-hmm. And like I said, I went to my doctor on Wednesday, my local doctor on Wednesday, and they took blood and checked my blood and some other stuff, I think the breathing, and said, we want you to go get an X-ray. So I went to a little local hospital just down from my own doctor's office, and they did an X-ray on me. And so Wednesday I was waiting for my results of the X-ray and the blood work that they did. And then Thursday I was waiting on my results for the X-ray and the blood work that they did. And then Friday, 4:30 in the afternoon, I finally get a call from my local, well, actually, no, I'd called them and said, hey, I did some stuff. You guys going to give me the results? And that was that morning. They called me at like 4:00 in the afternoon, said, yeah, you got pneumonia, you need to go to the hospital. And so Saturday morning I got up and went to the hospital. I should have gone Friday night. I realized that after trying to go to sleep on Friday night, and I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And also some nausea started on Friday night. Some horrible nausea, because there was, not to get graphic about it, there was absolutely nothing there. You don't eat, and you drink in sips. And so for hours on end, Friday night, I would wake up at a certain time and run to the bathroom and just, nothing was there.
Yeah.
But it was horrible until, I would just continue to do dry heave, basically. So I'm just going to tell you. I would continue to do that over and over again until the point at which it felt like it was like, okay, you're done, even though nothing happened. Mm-hmm. And I was able to actually kind of, my body, whatever, was saying, okay, you're tired now, go to sleep. And I would go to sleep for about an hour and a half, wake up, and have the same problem again. This was like 4 or 5 times over the night. And I really should have gone. And then that twilight hit, about 7 a.m., 6 or 7 a.m., where it was finally like, I sleep. But it was time to go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. So got up, went to the hospital about 8:30 or something. Like I said, they kept me there for a while. And that's where they did the CAT scan and everything else, pneumonia, that sort of stuff. So, not fun. The week after the fever had gone, I did a lot of sleeping. I did a lot of rest. Got a lot of rest. Still did not feel like playing games. I was still not feeling like even sitting for the, like I would get up, go to the bathroom, I have to go to the bathroom. If I went to the bathroom, standing for a long period of time was not fun. I would get tired very fast, and I would want to just, hurry up, flush toilet, go back to bed. Because you're going to fall, basically, is where I was. You're going to fall over if you don't sit down, go somewhere. And And so, and even sitting. So I sat in my chair in front of the computer because that's how I could log in and do some work stuff. But even then, I was not feeling like, I was like, as soon as it's done, I want to go back to the bed and sit in the bed, lay in the bed, whatever the case. Because I just wasn't feeling it. I really wasn't feeling it. Yeah, so it was rough. Like I said, right now, my voice sounds better, but those stairs will kill me every time I do it. So, enough of all of that. COVID part is negative now. I'm back at work now. The more I do stuff, the better it is. It used to be real tough taking a shower. Now I'm okay, but it used to be very, very difficult to take a shower. Even the beginning of this week, waking up first thing in the morning at like 4:30 on Monday morning, and then jumping in the shower was rough, because probably because of the exhaustion of just waking up, probably because of the steam of the shower and everything else, that you get tired very, very fast. And so it's a quick in and out, and then it's sit on the bed for 10 minutes while I recover and try and catch my breath and try and feel better. So it's been rough, but like I said, the more I do things, and you know what, honestly, if obviously it wasn't on the air, those stairs would be probably good exercise for me to just go up and down with to get strength back in my legs. Actually, stairs is probably not a good idea to get strength back in my legs because you could fall and hurt yourself. So, what I need to do is go walking. I need to get back on some routine. Although, and I will say this again. So we're here today. I hope to be here next weekend. And I don't mean that in a dying thing. But I have a hospital appointment scheduled for Thursday. This appointment was also scheduled for October, I think the 22nd. But I had COVID on the 16th. I could not do this procedure. This was another follow-up procedure for my heart attack from earlier. And so they had to reschedule, and this week is now upon us. My pre-op is on Monday, and then the surgery stuff is on Thursday. This is not a sense where I'm going to be tired. It's just going to, like I'm sick. It's just going to be a sense of, am I going to be able to come in at all and do a show on Saturday? I don't know. I don't know if I'm coming to work on Friday, to be honest with you. What they've got to do is they got to go in and they put in another stent in an artery. It's something that's planned this time, where it wasn't the last time. But it's planned this time. And, I'll know more. Hopefully I'll know more Monday when I go in for pre-op and they tell me, well, here's what we're going to do. If they go in through the arm again, I should be okay. That was a bruise, and I was fine. They're talking about going in through a different area. Again, this is me.
I think we've mentioned what that is.
Oh, yeah, this is me kind of dancing around the subject.
What was it? The arm is easier for you to recover, but it's
the arm for me is well, obviously I had it done. I haven't had the other way done to know if that's better. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it will be, but for the arm for me is the better way for them to go in. The doctor says he would rather go in the other way.
Yeah, because it was like a shorter distance, or
it's
easier for him
straight
to go.
shot.
It's a straight shot.
He doesn't have to loop around or whatever else. It's straight shot from that particular area. That particular area, I don't know. I've heard rumors. I've heard stories about I've heard things of if they do that, you're going to be out for a while. It's going to be hard for you to move. So everything that I've heard, not necessarily on pain, but on just recovery.
The recovery is much different between one and the other.
But everybody that I've said says, hey, if they can go through the arm, get them to go through the arm. So I'm going to leave it at the doctor's discretion, to be honest with you. I'll be like, look, whatever way is better for you, that's fine. Just give me enough drugs to where it doesn't hurt, and possibly knock me out if you want to. I'm good with either. So I hope they can go through the arm. I will throw that suggestion out there, but I will also say, this is something you need to do. You're the doctor. not me. Do what you got to do. So that's on the 12th. That's on Thursday the 12th. I'd like to think I'd be back for a Saturday the 14th show, but I can't tell you. It may be a situation where I just need to recuperate for that entire weekend so that I can be better for Monday rather than try and do something on Saturday and then not be ready again. I don't know. I hate to space the shows out like that, but better to come in at least this one weekend, give you an explanation of what's going on, and then miss another weekend if we got to. And I hate to because the new console's released next week. Xbox is on the 10th and PlayStation's on the 12th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so new consoles released. Not that I've got anything, not that I'm going to have any kind of impressions, because I don't have a single one of them pre-ordered. We're going to talk about that coming up. But Duke Frukum, yes, that is the second area that you have asked, or that you asked about. That is the second area. By the way, I've missed a lot of chats here. 3 degrees, open up, Scotty, give you pressure to play all the spooky music you want. I do have 2 songs that are in here. Now, I went back through and I was looking for what games had released basically for the entire month of October, because that's how long we hadn't done a show. So I do have 2 songs here from Spooky Games that released during this time. Let's see. Happy late birthday. Thank you, Bama Brian. Where do you think you got the COVID? Work. Good question. Don't know. There were some suspects of work, but there were a lot of people at work who didn't have it. And I was here all day Friday. And a lot of people went and got tested and were tested negative. A few days later, our weather guy went and got tested. He got it. Probably from me. I don't know. I don't know how long this stuff sits in you and waits to be detected, or to give you the symptoms to where you feel like I should go and get checked. Although if you're around somebody who does have it, you should go and get checked just to be safe. But I think a lot of people who work here who were around me, they all went and got tested immediately when they heard about this, because it was an immediate company-wide email went out as soon as I let them know, saying here's the rules, you got to get tested.
Yeah. So typical responses in our office is like someone tested positive. Everybody go get tested. Yeah. Let us know the results as soon as possible.
Yeah. That's exactly it. What you don't want that stuff spreading. Yeah. And so nobody had it. The thought is, I had been in the hospital on the 28th for the heart stuff that was just sudden out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And not only had I been I'd been in 2 different hospitals. First off, I'd been in my doctor's office because I was having chest pains. Then I went to a local hospital who ran some tests. Then I was in an ambulance from there to a bigger hospital about 20 miles away. And so I was in that emergency room. Then I was in an ICU unit afterwards. Then I got moved to a regular room. And then I was like, oh. Then I went back for a follow-up about 2 weeks later. I did one follow-up with my local doctor, but that was over the iPhone. That was whatever.
Telehealth?
Telehealth, basically. Mm-hmm. And then I had an appointment with my cardiologist for another follow-up and to kind of get us ready for the next thing. And so I was in there about 2 weeks after that visit. And then I got diagnosed with COVID. There is a strong possibility and a strong belief that I must have picked it up in the hospital. Mm-hmm. At some point. Whether it was doing my follow-up, whether it was while I was there, I don't know. So that's where they think that's where the idea is that I possibly got COVID. I mean, I was in a hospital. I was in an emergency room in a hospital. Emergency room is where COVID patients go. They don't go to the COVID wing. They go to the emergency room. And then they send you around to wherever you got to go, but you're being sent around. Yeah, I'm wearing masks. But, actually for surgery, I didn't wear a mask at all. In fact, the entire time I was in ICU and everything else, no mask. Because they never issued a mask to me. And again, when that whole thing happened, it was just, here, you got to go. And so there was no, make sure you're wearing your mask. There's nothing like that. So, Now, when I went back for the follow-up, that was an office visit, and of course, everybody was wearing the mask and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But, did they ever give you steroids? Yes, they did. Adjusting diet due to the first issue and the weakness, absolutely good. Yeah, I didn't eat very much. In fact, from the time I was put into the hospital on the 28th of September to, I think, this past Sunday, which was November the 1st, I dropped 30 pounds in a month. And I'm continuing to drop. And so, which, it's my thing. I have to.
Yeah, but that was your goal from the
first 30 pounds isn't just the goal. I mean, it's more, but it's also avoiding salty foods, cholesterol, carbs, that sort of stuff. Is a massive undertaking of big difference diet type of thing.
Certain things you can't eat anymore.
Yeah.
How much Cholula you got left?
Oh, I got plenty left. I wasn't eating very much, and I also wasn't putting hot sauce on stuff.
No.
I wasn't up for it. Okay. Which, thank you.
I've been saying you got enough.
No.
I'll get you some more, because I'm about to say I'll get you some more if you need it.
No, Cholula, I'm fine on.
Okay.
Drunk Degenerates. Yeah, dude, super glad to see you back in the South. Thank you. No coughing or difficulty breathing. Difficulty breathing only comes with, or it hasn't in a while. Well, it does when I climb those stairs. Difficulty breathing only came, I think, with the pneumonia or so. And it really only came I could not take a deep breath without coughing for at least those 2 weeks. When the doctor was like, take a deep breath, that sort of thing, there was no way I could do that without coughing. Yawning was annoying. I hated yawning. Yawning was horrible. I still have some weird nasal thing going on. I don't know why, but every now and again I do this really quick breath and I snort. And I don't know what that is, but it's something that has only just recently developed. No loss of smell. Those are the big symptoms. Yep, no smell. And I did not lose a sense of smell or taste, even though I kind of did lose like an appetite, but that was fever.
It didn't come from that COVID test, did it?
Do what?
The nasal thing didn't come from that COVID test, did it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Doctor telling you to go to the hospital. I had a really bad food poisoning. One sounds like a lot like that. Memory fever. Secondary. Yeah. Okay. Looks like we caught up to everything. Mm-hmm. And then of course there's more here, and I really want to get to all of that. I have hogged up so much time. I have no time for you to tell us about what you played. When we come back, I want you to tell us though.
Don't worry, it'll be a short conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't played anything either. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was just not in me for the most part to do that during the entire 3 weeks. Never felt like it. Never had the concentration, to really want to do that unless it was something really. Like I said, Animal Crossing was there a few times, but even that was just not a thing. And that's Animal Crossing, for God's sakes. That requires no level of skill or attention. But I was still like, nah, I don't want to play. So we do have music here. This is from, it's interesting. I thought it would all work, but it didn't. This is from a game called Ghost Runner, and the track is called Air. We'll be back with more in-game chat right after this. And welcome back to the show here. Music from Crash Bandicoot 4. The main theme on that there. Released back in October. What have you played, RJ? Before we get to our calls, which Josh, Chris, hang on, guys. I just want to get to RJ here, what he's been playing. And STM Fuller, welcome to the show. Yeah, COVID and heart attack. Less than a month.
What a year.
Yeah, what a month.
What a month. I'm sorry, what a month. Yeah. What a month. I haven't been playing much, really, despite being 3 weeks. Like I said, I was out of town. I was doing all types of fun stuff then. But for the most part, lately, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto Online. They got a special on double money on Motorcycle Club sales, so I've been working on and building that. I've also been working on building another character because I wanted a character I didn't have to worry about micromanaging all the businesses and things that I had going on with my main character in that game. So I made a second to just go out there and have fun with. So I've been working on that mostly more than anything else. So that's pretty much all I can remember playing all this time that we've been off was GTA Online. Mm-hmm.
That's it for you?
That's pretty much it. I said it was going to be a short conversation. That's all I've been
I understand.
really playing.
I understand. Yeah. Let's go to the phones real quick and let's talk to Chris. Hey, Chris.
What's going on? Feeling a lot better, huh?
Oh, obviously. Oh, I mean, yeah. I say obviously, but I mean, yeah. I am feeling better. Stairs are annoying, but other than that, yeah, I am feeling better. Like I said, the more I do of something, the better I the more I get back into the I don't want to say the routine or the act of doing it or whatever, but the easier it becomes to do, the more I do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I still got my PlayStation 5 from Sony that's confirmed, and they're preparing to ship it and everything. So I guess if y'all want to have a show, I'd just call in and just talk about it, and that'd probably be the safest thing. Oh yeah, that would be best. So I mean, I don't know that we're doing a show next weekend. I have no idea. I don't know when. I really need to make that decision before I go in for surgery on Thursday, because there's no way of knowing if I'm just going to need the recoup time. I kind of want to put it in that category of just go ahead and call it so that I can stay regardless. If I don't need it, that's great. But if I do, and we didn't have anything prepared, then I would need. It's gonna be more of a problem if I don't. So I think we probably will not be doing a show next weekend. Yeah. What kind of surgery you gotta have?
It is a stint. I'm having a stint placed. They're gonna clean out. They're gonna go in and clean out an artery, and then they're gonna place a stent. It is not something that is known for being one of these things where, it's outpatient surgery, but it's also
easy recovery.
Not necessarily because of the position that they're going through. I know that if they do go through that area, it's going to be like 6 hours. You're going to have 6 hours of not standing up, not being on your feet once it's done. 6 hours is what they say. And so, I'm thinking, sure, you'll be fine. But you can't plan for, you just can't plan for things to not go the way that they might go.
Yeah, my guess, I'd say not plan on being there at all and just have a backup plan, but if you feel okay, I'd just take it easy and recover, take the downtime whenever you can.
Yeah. Like when they first did this, obviously, it was unplanned. And they did it, it was like 6 o'clock at night whenever they got around to it, and they kept me a few days in the hospital afterwards because it was a thing. And so that one was unplanned. They went through the arm. But if I was going in on Thursday at the time I'm going in, which is really, really early in the morning, which means I'm probably going to be probably be the first patient he gets to, because I think I got to be there at 5:30 that morning. So it seems like they're going to get it done. But I have no idea. I have no idea what kind of state I'm going to be in afterwards. So it's probably just going to be best for us to not do a show. That way I've got the recoup time if I need it. Mm-hmm. If I don't need it, then that's okay too. But if we didn't do that and it came up and it's like, oh God, I can't even go in, I can't do this, then at least we'll be prepared. Yeah. So that's my thinking on it.
Yeah, I believe that would be the best thing for you, because I've had shoulder surgery, and it went very well and all, and I just didn't feel like doing anything but sitting around for a few days and stuff. So, yeah, I'd say just err on the side of caution and just wait and see, and then if you do feel okay, just take it easy and catch up on some other things.
I know, yeah. If I do feel okay, good. I got, the new Destiny will be out, the Beyond Light expansion. That comes out on Tuesday, and so, I'll get some time with that if I want to. So, anyway, thanks for calling, Chris. We appreciate it. We got Josh on the other line here calling in from Germany, so we're going to be jumping over to him. But thanks for calling in. Good to hear from you, Chris.
All right, y'all continue to be safe and do well, so I'll talk to y'all later.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Take care now.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, let's go to Josh. Hey, Josh.
Hey there.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, and I'm glad to see you're doing better as well.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate everybody that reached out to me. There was a lot of people reaching out when they found out about it and everything else. So I do appreciate everybody's concern, their thoughts. It meant a lot to me. So thank you. What's going on with you?
Nothing new. Playing games, building setup for streaming.
Oh, okay. Building a setup for streaming. Good job.
Yep. I have more time at home right now, so I might as well do something productive with my gaming.
Yeah.
What have you been playing? I think you just, did I miss? Did you get it? No. Did you get a pre-order? Did you pre-order a console? No.
Yep.
You?
I have the PlayStation 5 on my way.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying
to
read.
A week later than you guys.
Yeah, I think you get it on the 19th out there, right?
Yeah, exactly. That would have been the same day as Cyberpunk, but,
Oh, it would have.
Yeah.
Stuff happened.
It would have. That's on our list here of news. Oddly enough, for 3 weeks, and this again goes to the whole just complete I guess I want to say lack of caring or lack of interest maybe is the better way to put it. But my news feed was backed up into like the thousands of news of stories and stuff like that. I would skim as best I could, but for the most part I was like, I don't care. There was all this stuff popping up, and it was
just too much to catch up on.
It was a lot of stuff to catch up on.
So you just clear it out and
especially when you're sitting there, and it's like all you really want to do is just go back into the bed. I was looking for stuff, and I was looking for stuff that might have like a high save count, because Feedly that I use, Feedly has that where it shows that 3,000 people saved this article or have bookmarked this or whatever the case may be. And so I was looking for stuff that was way high and seeing if that was even relevant to anything that we might talk about. And for the most part, no. Or my head was just in this thought of, who cares? It's really weird how your perspective changes when you are just feeling miserable. Because I was a big, Animal Crossing was a daily routine for me in some point or another. If I wasn't able to do it while I was here at work, I'd do it when I got home. I'd do it before I go to bed. Whatever the case, I was doing my daily runs through Animal Crossing, selling stuff, trying to collect the fossils and all this other stuff, cleaning up the grounds, whatever. And in October, you were buying candy for this Halloween event that was coming up, but you can only buy one piece a day. And so luckily I got to about 18 or 19 pieces of candy and that was doing it October 1st through the 19th. Mm-hmm. And then it stopped because I just said, I don't care. I don't care. This is not, it doesn't matter. I didn't, they were like, oh, the Xbox One S does this thing, or the One X, whatever, the Xbox Series X, or the PlayStation 5 has got this problem. And I said, no one cares. I said, you know what? Long term, big picture, nobody cares. And you really get into a perspective like that when you're running fever and feeling miserable and stuff like that. I said, no, nobody cares.
Nothing matters except my recovery right now.
It's a bit on the selfish side, but at the same time,
understandable at the same time.
I don't know. It made me kind of reevaluate things a little bit and just say, really, how important is that as news? It's not. Especially most of the time, it was. And I'll give you an example with the PlayStation 5. There was something that was like, hey, this is, or I think they turned something off for the Xbox Series X. Not backwards compatibility, but I think quick resume or something like that. There was a lot of this stuff where the article was, this won't work at launch, plan to come in an update. And I thought, all right, there's your story. There's no need to talk about that. There's no need to talk about features that are missing right now that are coming with an update later, as long as they're coming with an update later. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of that stuff I wrote as marked as red and moved on to something else. Like the big one, like when Cyberpunk did it, I got it on my watch whenever Cyberpunk got delayed. In fact, it may have been in the hospital that day. Or in my doctor's office that day. I can't remember which one it was, but I remember seeing it and I was like, okay, that's something. You just mark that. And I did, but all it is telling you, the biggest point to tell you is that, hey, Cyberpunk's delayed again until December 10th.
Yep.
Yeah, Cyberpunk's delayed December 10th.
If they can hold that.
If they can hold that again, which at this point, Cyberpunk was something I was looking forward to if I had a graphics card at the time, which I still can't get. And by the way, I may not get a graphics card or a new console for some time due to the medical bills that I've incurred. Trips to the ER cost a lot of money.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, they do.
Ambulance rides are ridiculous.
To put it in perspective, my dad had an accident years ago, and there was an option: ambulance or me driving him to the hospital. And he immediately said, "Take me to the hospital." So
I don't remember getting that choice. Like I was in the hospital. This was before they sent me up to the thing to do the surgery. Mm-hmm. I don't remember them giving me the option of, get a ride or get an ambulance. Mm-hmm. The only option I remember them giving me was like, "What do you have any preferred ambulance that you prefer to use?" And I said no. And so they loaded me up into an ambulance. It was whatever. Now, you said it was a traffic accident there, right?
It was a traffic accident.
See, I was already in a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, policy is if they're moving you from one hospital to another one, mm-hmm. you have to be transported by ambulance. Mm-hmm. I don't remember getting any kind of option of, well, you can also, get somebody to take you if you want to. They would not let you drive. Because they were worried about they were just like, your cardiac enzymes are way high. And so we want to get you to the hospital. And so I don't remember getting a choice. Mm-hmm. There was no lights. There was no speed. It was just, they put me on a stretcher, mm-hmm. loaded me into the back of the ambulance, and then they drove me to the hospital, mm-hmm. took me out through the emergency room, which by the way, apparently you get a lot more, you get a lot higher priority when you come in through an ambulance on a stretcher than you do anything else, on an ER or at an ER. And that is a whopping amount of money.
Yeah.
That's a whopping amount of money. And it occurred to me, and I've heard this before, they're like, boy, don't ever hope you never have to be transported by helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is unreal. So
the only time I ever hear about those is for pro sports, college sports, things like that, or accidents or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
so yeah, I've been incurring a lot of hospital fees. Every trip to the ER was a good bit of money, and I think I've seen them about 3 or 4 times now. So it just keeps running up a thing. And then I got this next one coming up too, which is going to incur a bill. So yeah, I was hoping to play Cyberpunk when it released on the 17th, but really only hoping to play it if I had one of the new graphics cards that it released. Mm-hmm. And even, of course, right now, even with the ability to buy one of those, I can't get one. They're hard to get. And I don't want, the 3090 is way too expensive. The 3070 is underpowered for me. And so basically the 3080 is where it sits. And I'm not too interested in the AMD option. There is the option for AMD, but I'm not really that interested in it. I kind of want to stick with my Team Green. It's just where I've been. I don't feel like changing. So anyway, that's where I sit, you know. But you got yourself a PS5 coming. Did you get a Series X?
No.
Okay.
Not the money, and not really interested either.
Yeah, you know,
is it because of the library that's out or something else?
Yeah, I never had an Xbox, so I would start with the Zero library anyways, and nothing attached to it. So
yeah. No,
I mean, if I really want to play those games, I could just get a better PC and play them on that.
Yeah. See, I'm in the same boat with the PS5. I mean, there's not much on there now, but I know something's going to be on there later. But because of it's going to be on there later, I don't feel there's any rush for me to get one. It's not like I don't think there's going to be a shortage of PS5s anytime soon in the near distant future. So I'm just content to sit back and wait. I mean, all I got in my eye on right now is a Demon Souls remake, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's the one I'm getting now because Cyberpunk got delayed.
Yeah. And all the fighting games on there now are just on PS4. They're just going to be transferred to 5 later, but I don't think there's going to be a cross-player competitive online play with that. I don't know for sure. I'll have to do some research into that.
Yeah, I mean, they are all backwards compatible, so you can play all those PlayStation 4 games on the PlayStation 5 as well. So I can just get rid of my PlayStation 4, sell it for a little bit of cash to put to the PlayStation 5. And that's basically the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking for the... Let's see...
Yeah, other than that, I can talk about what I've been playing.
Yeah, no, thank you. I was looking. Somebody mentioned something in chat. And I was looking that up. Josh, thank you so much for calling in, buddy. We're up against a break here, so we're going to take that break, and when we come back, my feelings, where you are with the PS5 or actually with the Xbox Series X, exactly where my head's at currently. The opposite of where it's at for RJ at the moment. But I want to talk about that when we come back, as far as where I sit with the new consoles in the last time we were able to really talk about them, and also to go over some of the news that we've gotten from the reviews of the new consoles as well. So, Josh, thank you so much for calling. The next time we do a show, if I look at a calendar here, the next time we do a show, you will have your PS4 or 5.
Should have it, yeah, unless something goes terribly wrong with the
shipping and all that stuff. Yeah, well, give us a call back and let us know how it goes. But we appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, sure, anytime. Take care.
Thanks,
Take care now.
Bye-bye. Somebody else is on the phone. I will grab them real quick here. In-game chat, who's this?
This is the Crawdad.
Hey, man, we are just about to hit a break here, but we got a few minutes. What's up?
I wanted to say you triggered a memory. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver.
Yeah.
And the Good Old Games site, I hadn't gone and looked there, but, man, you triggered a memory when you were talking about some of that stuff, bringing up things I hadn't thought about in forever. But Legacy of Kain was an awesome game.
I remember the days at PG where you were, it was like...
Playing it with me?
With Jeremy at PG. Jeremy and a whole bunch of folks was playing that game to death. They were having a really good time with that game. So, yeah.
Which one, the Legacy of Kain?
Legacy of Kain, yeah. They were having a real good time with that. So, yeah, it was
fun. The sound, I really get a lot out of the sound. I was telling Jay last time we talked that one a little primitive game called Salt Rigs, real primitive, early graphic stuff, but it had this really fun soundtrack. That it turns out that Herbie Hancock had a piece of Herbie Hancock music.
Yep, you told us that. That is correct.
Yeah. And so, anyways, guys, I spend a lot of time listening to y'all on the weekend. I don't always call, but I'm kind of in your boat too there, Jay, where I'm not well, and you folks keep me plugged in and connected to the real world, and it means a lot to me.
Well, I appreciate it. Thought about you as well when I was thinking about the show and stuff, and I knew you were one of our listeners who just basically you keep the radio station on all the time there. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, we've run the same show for the past 3 weeks because I just have not been bothered to try. I didn't have any energy or any bother to.
It just sucks the life right out of you.
To try and edit a show to get ready for even just a replay.
Sure.
Much less trying to get up and do one. So I said, well, at least we're coming in to do one, and then we'll see what next week holds for us.
There's been many a time where I'm laying there in the bed, and I'm just focusing on what you guys are talking about instead of thinking about my situation and myself. Y'all help me keep very distracted, and it means a lot. Well,
we appreciate you listening. Thank you so much, Crawdad. I hope things get better for you, and you have a good one, man. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Y'all take care.
You too, buddy.
See you now.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I remember Legacy King. I want to talk about that. We're 5 minutes over here. We got to go. This is one of our spooky games. It's from a game called Remothered. Broken Porcelain is the track name, which I also think is the subtitle of the game. So we'll be back with more in-game chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Star Wars Squadrons, which also released while we were away. I don't know if that game's good or not. I haven't heard anything. But Star Wars game, we're basically flying around air combat, and that was basically the best parts of mostly the Battlefront, the whatever Battlefield, whatever it is. The Star Wars games that were all, team shooter type stuff. Mm-hmm. The flying parts were the better parts. Yeah. Which are actually, I think, done by Criterion Games. I don't know if Criterion did Squadrons. I feel like in a different time, I would know that just right off the top of my head. And I feel, and by the way, a different time being before I got hit with COVID and the heart attack and everything else, I would already have known that. So let's talk about the new consoles for a second. Let's talk about let me throw a reminder your way of when, before we skipped 3 weeks, and even going back previous to when these consoles were being announced and everything else, I was not on the hype train for either of them. And if I was on the hype train for one of them, it would have been the Xbox Series X. And I was curious, the PlayStation 5, for whatever reason, was just not pulling me in their direction. They weren't. Mm-hmm. And I was saying that. I was on the air saying that, and probably elsewhere talking about how I'm not being pulled in that direction. Reviews released this past week of both the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. And I've completely shifted 180 degrees to being on the hype train of the PS5 now. Mm-hmm. I'm a little, not necessarily confused as to why, but I'm a little bit why? Why have you switched from the series? First off, why are you interested in either one of these things, for one thing? Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why my interest has waned on the Series X. The lack of innovation on the Series X is fine. I don't mind that. It is beefier and better. It is basically the Xbox One X that I already have with some upgrades thrown in there. And that's fine, and that's great, and that's good. But it doesn't feel like it's much of a jump for me going from a Series X or going from an Xbox One X to a Series X. They also really don't have the exclusives. PlayStation doesn't have very many either. But the reviews I read really got me hyped for the Series X, and I was like, oh, that's great. Then the PlayStation 5 reviews came out, and those read better than the Xbox Series X. Those, oddly enough, were getting what seemed or felt like a higher praise in that regard. And the more I read those, the more I started buying into it. And I'm just going to straight up tell you, I was buying into the hype. I was buying into what they were saying in the reviews. But the more I look at it, the more I'm like, well, yeah, but it also doesn't have this, and it's lacking this. This thing's going to come with a future update. There's a lot of people upset about the UI and how that works. But then again, there's a lot of praise for what this thing can do and the games that are there for it. And there's a lot of praise, oddly enough, there's a lot of praise for the DualSense controller. I think the hype around, oddly enough, the hype around the controller has drawn me in more than the hype around the console itself. Fortunately, you don't use the controller with that system, the DualSense. And it only really takes advantage of it when the games take advantage of what the DualSense can do. I can't explain to you how the DualSense works. I don't know. I've just read that it's some sort of, apparently a very big step in controller technology type stuff, which is hard to think that it's hard to think that you've gotten better than what you've done. But apparently it's the feedback from the games that utilize it, where there's a real sense of immersion or something in there. It's very strange. It's very strange to be drawn to a controller. The last time I was drawn to a controller was the Wavebird for the GameCube. And that was a wireless controller. One of the first ones you ever had was a wireless controller. And it was, it was amazing. I won't say it was innovative whatsoever as far as the controller layout sort of thing. But the wireless functionality was something that was like, I recommended that to everybody. It was the most amazing thing. Of course, now we have wireless all the time. Yeah. But at that time, in the GameCube days, we didn't. I had to get extension cords to play my games because I was playing on the living room. So I was on a couch way away from my TV, and the cords were too short to reach the box, so I had to play extension cords, both for my PS2 and my Xbox. Yeah. And then, of course, when we moved into the 360 and the PS3 days and that sort of thing, you didn't have to worry about that anymore.
In my case, I always liked the wireless is always fine with me because that wireless is default nowadays. But I always had to get one of those wired controllers for like tournaments or times when I've had to travel and things like that. But no, tournaments mostly for wired controllers.
I can get that. I understand that. I can understand, like, hey, bring your controllers and you got to plug in because everybody has their own that they want to do. And it takes forever to try and sync them up. It's easier to just plug that in.
There's also have incidents where you have many consoles, many stations playing around, and it's something you forget to do. I understand that. Some people forget to desync their controller to that system. So when they hit the button and think they're trying to sync to the station they're on, they end up interfering with someone else already playing in their match on the console you were previously on. So there were times when you've tried to desync a controller and there's like 15 different DualShock 4s hooked up to this console, and you have to take them all out before you can start your game. And that caused delays there. So I was wanting a wired controller.
That's the best thing to do when you're doing tournament stuff. So anyway, I fell into the PlayStation 5 hype, and I kept trying to think about, like, where's that coming from? And I guess it was just falling into the review hype and the praise that it was getting. A lot of people, oddly enough, a lot of the reviews felt like, no, this feels like next gen more than it does the Series X. Anyway, looking at the Series X, I have Game Pass. The upgrades from a Series X or the upgrades from an Xbox One X to a Series X don't involve that much visually. Yeah, it's a beefier, it's a beefier system.
Yeah, they're both beefy.
But I'm getting 4K out of my Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting 4K out of the PS4 Pro. Mm-hmm. I'm getting close to it, but that system never could do full 4K, whereas the PS5 can. And I'm hearing a lot of good things about the backward. Strangely enough, the backward compatibility with the Xbox was something that was always touted and always said, look, we're going to go 3 generations of backwards compatibility on this thing. And I thought, this is amazing. This is really good. But then the PlayStation 4 backward compatibility I read was not superior, but was up there. Was up there much better than anybody else was expecting it to be for what they were doing. The up-res on games and everything else, the speed was much better. Not better than Xbox, but was better than what people were expecting to get from the system itself. The Xbox feels like something I can upgrade to later, and I'm not going to miss out on much. I can say the same thing about the PlayStation 5. I really feel that I can. I think just currently, I'm drawn into the hype right now. The consoles are releasing next week. I'm being pulled into that hype. I think, thankfully, I'll be in surgery on Thursday when the PlayStation releases. So I don't think I'll be able to, try and snag one on opening day type of stuff, which I think is a good thing. I look back to the release of the graphics card that I couldn't get, the 3080, or even the 3090 if I wanted to try that, or even the 3070 if I wanted to try that. Back when that released, I was trying to get one. I was set to get one. I hadn't incurred hospital fees and all this other stuff going on. I was ready, I was good. And then it's like 2 weeks go by and I'm like, I still can't get one of these things. And more time goes by, and while it becomes annoying that you can't get one, that hype, that chemical in your body finally subsides.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I can get to that point with the PlayStation 5 or the Series X or whatever, I feel like I'll be better off. If I can just get to that point of saying, you know what? We're here. It's fine. You missed out. It's no big deal. You'll get it when it's revamped. You'll get it when there's a sale. You'll get it when somebody runs a trade-in deal and you can turn in your Pro to get better money on the trade-in of getting a... So, just hold off. Which, like I said, I hate that I'm going to be in surgery on Thursday, but kind of might be beneficial for me to have something else going on so that I can sort of sit out on this and be a little bit smarter with my money. Yeah.
I was trying. Didn't we have the conversation a while back? Like the last time you bought a console, day one,
Switch.
Yeah, that was it.
Which was not, and again that played out the same way. Which was, I talked about how I was not going to get a Switch. How it was like a cool little thing, but it's just not for me. And then it was. I think what happened was like, I wonder if they're going to have any. Are you going to have some? Okay. Well, maybe I can try and get one. And I could. And there was a thrill of the chase type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Thrill of the hunt.
Yeah.
And the hunt was, can I get this?
The availability is low, so the demand was relatively high. Then you hear the availability is low, so it's like, ooh, can I get one? And either play it or scalp it, one of the two. Yeah.
And I think, obviously, if that was also happening with me because the launch day on the Series X is on Tuesday, and the launch for the PlayStation 12 is on Thursday. PlayStation 12, PlayStation 5 is on Thursday the 12th, and so, like I said, the Series X feels like it's something down the line that's fine.
Yeah,
don't need it now, that sort of thing. Not a lot of games for it. There are a few games for it, like, not like anything. It's like whatever you've got on Game Pass, which I've got a ton on Game Pass.
Yeah.
That would look good on the up-res that they're doing on the backwards compatibility stuff. and I've got a ton on. Well, I say I've got a ton. Like some of the newer games that are releasing this fall, Assassin's Creed is a game I got with my processor. The new processor I bought.
Yeah.
So that's going to be for me on the PC. I'm going to really not play that on consoles. But when you look over to the Sony side of things, they've got which is an odd thing for me to be amped about, but that whole Spider-Man game, Miles Morales. Mm-hmm. It's a real odd thing for me to be hyped about a expand-alone type of title, you know? But it's not just that, it's also the upgrades that you're getting with a lot of other games, and there's a lot of other games that I haven't played on my PlayStation that will get those upgrades and stuff like that. I don't know. It's still, like I said, I know right now, I know in my head that I'm being drawn in by the hype. I know that. I've talked to people who have pre-orders. Chris has one. Josh has one. Anthony Rogue Hunter, who is plays a lot of Destiny with us on our Discord in our Destiny Discord. Mm-hmm. He's got a pre-order going for it as well. So you know, I'm being drawn in by that, and I understand that. Mm-hmm. The problem is I've got to be able to avoid falling into the trap of trying to get one on launch day.
Yeah.
Just because it's like the thrill of the hunt of trying to get one on launch day. Mm-hmm. I want to say luckily, but whatever. I'm going to be in surgery, so I doubt I'll be able to do that. I kind of would like to have one by like Thanksgiving, though, because, you know, you'll have those days off, you know, and I can put in some time with the new console and play some Spider-Man if I want to or whatever. I don't even know how long that game is. Probably not long.
7 to 10 hours.
Yeah, it's a short thing. And like I know Demon Souls is something else that people have been propping up as like, this thing looks amazing on the PS5 and the whatever they've done, but it's not my game. You know, it's not my genre. It's not my game. It's not there for me.
It's like Final Fantasy for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everybody's
like Demon
hyped
Souls
about it,
is totally up your alley.
Yeah, yeah. It's the one game on there that I know of that I'll be interested in.
I even watched the state of play that was uploaded, or I watched it this morning. It was like 12 minutes of Demon Souls play. And it looked pretty, but I was still like, this is not my game.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're up against a break again, and no, Demon Souls is not a long game, but when you're not good at it, it takes a while. Another Halloween game for you here. It is from Amnesia Rebirth. It's a game I tried to find the soundtrack to back in October, but it just released or was just coming out later that month. I didn't have anything. So, I want to get to your comments that you guys are throwing out there as well. But Amnesia Rebirth, we'll be back with more in-game chat right after this. This is called Airplane Exit, I think. It's a weird title. Welcome back to In-Game Chat.
I like the music, though.
Right, I do too. And in fact, I'm actually interested in the game. And I'll see if it's on Game Pass. I don't think it is. Sorry, I just came up the stairs. I said I was not going to go back down, but I had to go back down, so no. This is from a game...
In through the nose, out through the mouth.
No. It's just the title. It's called Chicken Police.
Okay. Noir with chickens.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Have
you seen it?
But this music has me thinking noir style storytelling, just chicken characters.
There's a cat who's like a lounge singer.
Guilty.
And then there's chickens who are investigating a crime.
Cat
and it's black and white.
Cat did it.
I don't know. But everything about it is everything I love. And the pull is the fact that it's chickens. And it's real chickens. Like, they're not, what's the word I want to say?
Animatronics, animated, or whatever.
No, but they don't have a human side to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, They don't have a human look to them.
Okay.
I'm
looking at pictures now, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's chicken.
It's chickens.
Roosters and all that stuff, yeah.
They don't have any sort of, what's the term when they give a human look to an animal?
Anthro?
Is that what that is?
Anthropomorph,
whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have any of that.
Furry?
Well, yeah, but even that, even if you want to take it into the Disney realm, where they give these human characteristics to animals.
Just call it anthro.
It's not. Yeah. It's animals.
They don't speak. They cluck.
No, they don't. No, they don't cluck. They have actual dialogue.
Yeah, just call it anthro.
Yeah. So when they talk,
yeah,
it's actually a human voice that comes out, but the look is entirely just the animal itself.
Let's see. I got a little description here. Let's see. Chicken Police is a buddy cop noir adventure with a carefully crafted world, a gritty story, and lots of absurd humor. The game mixes elements of classic adventure games with visual novel-style storytelling. A lot of positive reviews in there as of November 5th of this year.
Yeah, I mean...
9 out of 10 on Steam, 86% on Metacritic.
It got a lot of positive reviews.
Released in August 27th, yeah.
Yeah.
From The Wild Gentleman and published by Handy Games, yeah.
So, I'm going to see if it's on Game Pass.
The picture I'm looking at is a rooster with a 357 Magnum.
I know.
And in noir style, black and white with rain falling with the city in the background.
Right.
It's
everything that draws me into. I love film noir. I love it. I can't get enough of it. It is just a thing that I've gone to. I'll tell you up front. I've gone to websites where I'm like, that's where I'll type in, websites where you download things. Mm-hmm. And I'll type in film noir and I'll grab as much as I can because it's all stuff I've never seen before. Usually I fall asleep to it. But whatever, the whole black and white, I don't know, everything about it is great. And yeah, you can talk about the classics of film noir, that's fine. I'm talking about just the entire genre, everything that fits into it. Mm-hmm. Not just the giants of film noir. I've seen those. But it's the other ones that I look for, those other small ones that I try to find because I've never seen them before.
I can't remember looking at this one.
You still looking at Chicken Police?
I'm still looking at the pictures, man. It's like Foghorn Leghorn with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And the main character is still with that 357.
Yeah. I know there's a Spider-Man noir. I know that. That was from, I know that from Into the Spider-Verse. But I don't think there's anything that I don't think there's any Spider-Man noir to watch. I would love if there was, though. You saw Shin Godzilla. That's great. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been interested in Shin only for the design of what Godzilla was in Shin Godzilla. Mm-hmm. And how it was like, that was the one I had heard, like there's Godzilla movies all over the place.
Yeah.
And there's the classic ones and that sort of thing. And then there was like the more recent ones that we're not getting a lot of, and you can include the American ones in there as well. And I'm talking about the one they did with, Broderick and whatever, the Godzilla that rampaged New York that did not look like Godzilla. Around that time and around that era before, I think they did the Godzilla that, kind of recently revived, the Godzilla and then Godzilla King of the Monsters, those two. There was a Japan production, and they did Shin Godzilla, and apparently it was like, hey, this lives up to what the hype is. Mm-hmm. So, oh yeah, there's the animated show as well. There's the animated Godzilla that's going on. I started watching that and I fell asleep through it. There's a lot of things I start on Netflix that I fall asleep through, mainly because I watch Netflix in bed. And once I upgraded my mattress, it has an effect on me that will just knock me out.
2 episodes and done.
It depends, yeah, if that. Oh, especially if I put on something like Forensic Files or whatever. I'm out. Yeah. Bob Ross, something like that. I'm gone. You know,
is Twitch still doing that with Bob Ross?
I don't know if they are or not, but I know Netflix has a channel. Pluto TV, which has just marathons of stuff, they have a channel of nothing but Bob Ross. So, anyway, this I apologize for this. This has been 3 weeks away from a show, and I know we're trying to catch up on a lot of stuff, mostly not related to video games. But I wanted to go back because you guys were talking there and I missed a lot.
Oh, the chat room, yeah.
And then Scott raised his Switch and honked like a Tuscan Raider. Yeah, because I got my Switch. Let's see. Think about his launch, and then 1 year in, very different consoles. Current consoles, this is a Nabokov fan. Yeah. Current consoles, we had the issues of DRM and their redaction and the whole Xbox TV, Xbox setup. Many months and years later, then you have VR and things a lot different. I sent that HW Thoughts email. It's kind of misfitting. I'd say give yourself at least 30 to 45 days to even form an opinion at launch. Last time I bought a console, I waited 90 days before I even considered it. Got it at 6 or 9 months in. Maybe a good question for RJ. I think he is similar to me in the way of the last comment. What games or what was it that made you get a console? How long in the life cycle was it? Not answering for RJ, but obviously it's a matter of taste when you go that way, because his taste in video games may not reflect what a good launch lineup could be, or could reflect what a good launch lineup could be, obviously, for him. Mm-hmm. So it varies by player. But you can go ahead and go ahead and answer the
I answered the chat room, but basically I just said the best adventure titles in fighting games and a few sports titles as well. That's what gets me into it. Like for the longest time, I've always heard about 360. From the 360 on, Microsoft is always good for like the first person shooters, and I'm not a first person shooter type guy. That's not really my wheelhouse. I mean, I've played some, but it wasn't my like go to, like a Call of Duty or something like that. You know, it's not my cup of tea really. But adventure titles and fighting games, things like that picks me up. Sports titles as well. MLB The Show was a title that I will always get into, along with the Golf Club. The Golf Club was one. It was a really good one. But I didn't get into the sport titles from like EA or 2K. A whole lot of the microtransactions things or whatever, especially, or FIFA, like with the Ultimate Team, things like that. I know MLB has it too, but I've never really gotten into that. I'm just like playing online. So those type of genres is what I really got into, and PlayStation has really caught me on that.
Yeah, Nabokov he played Demon's Souls because of you and your views on it. First time he'd ever played that. I had my first console when I bought. But you said you answered him. Yeah. First time I got with my own money too. Don't know if it sold you on the console, but definitely one you enjoyed, exclusive to the PlayStation app. I'm sorry, I'm going through the chat room here, just reading the stuff that I missed. And then we're back to the Godzilla talk. Okay. So, going back to, we haven't hit a lot of news here, but Destiny's expansion goes live on Tuesday. Here's an odd thing to tell you. I haven't even bought it. Normally I'm all over these things, but it's been an odd couple of months where I held off on picking up Beyond Light because I just knew I had time to pick it up later. And then things started happening, you know. In September, the game was not coming out until November, and it's just like, I got time to get this. And then, of course, the heart attack hospital ride, and I thought, oh, gosh, this is bad. And then I kind of got my mind off of it for a while, and then the And then the COVID stuff, again, took my mind completely off of it to where it's like, wait a second, that's this Tuesday? Oh, goodness. And the collector's edition is completely sold out online. The physical copies of the game, gone. And I purposely avoided that. And I talked to a couple of guys in our Discord about this, but I have bought those collector's editions, the Destiny ones specifically, just because Destiny guy. That's me. The other ones I pick up because I really like the statue or whatever they may have offered, but Destiny was just automatic, Collector's edition, I'm getting it.
I got the same feeling with certain fighting game titles and MLB The Show collector's editions. Yeah, I
remember when they announced this, and I remembered going back to all the times I had bought these collector's editions of Destiny and even of other games too, and then like 6 months later seeing them way lower than what I paid. Regardless of if so, even if I was getting the game twice, it was still cheaper to do it that way, even though the game may come with it. And so my whole thought process was like, you know what? Just get the game and then wait for that collector's edition to come down, and then you can pick that up later. Yeah, because it's going to do it because it always does.
Yeah, well, it doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work, though.
This time I'm not sure it's going to work because the only place you can buy that collector's edition is through Bungie themselves. It is not available in any kind of stores that I can tell. I go to Amazon and look for it, and it's not there. Even the Beyond Light game itself is not there.
Only through them.
Well, no, I don't think they're making... I think the only way you get a physical copy is through the collector's edition, which is already sold out. I think any other way, you got to buy it digitally.
Yeah.
As like an expansion, like an add-on.
Yeah.
And so that seems to be...
That's what I was talking about. The collector's edition is only through them?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, only through them. I was saying by backfire because remember what happened with Ghost of Tsushima? The collector's edition that was like you could hardly find it out close to or after release date.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't looked it up since, but I don't think anybody's got that. I think that's a done deal. I'm gonna have to look that up when I get a chance. But yeah, because I have seen some collector's edition games drop suddenly. Like you go to GameStop every now and then, look up in the toward the ceiling where they stack stuff up, and you see collector's editions of the titles that you didn't think would go down, but it's gone down dramatically.
I love the guys in our clan. I have 2 raids that I haven't run. They're very quick raids if you can run them. They're even quicker raids if you can grab a boss checkpoint and just pick up there. And I just need to do those 2, and I need to do them before Tuesday. Again, putting things off and not realizing that this has been a fantastic example of that whole never put off tomorrow what you can do today type thing. Because putting things off, 1 week I have a heart attack and I'm in the hospital. Putting things off even further, I get COVID and I'm out for 3 weeks and not feeling like doing anything. Again, COVID can affect people in different ways, but for me, it affected me to where I didn't want to do anything. In fact, there's Random NX in the chat room. I love my clan members. They just mentioned that they had done the 2 raids, and I asked real quickly. I said, "Did anybody grab a checkpoint on those? I would like to get the boss checkpoint." And now they're gearing up to run through it. All of them run through it again, so that somebody in the team can grab a boss checkpoint to hand off to me. So, thank you guys. I appreciate it. It's been way overdue for me to do, and I kept putting it off because I thought, you know what, some Sunday I'm just going to jump in there and get it done. And things have just not panned out the way that things for a lot of people in the year 2020 have not panned out the way they wanted to play. I know today's different for a lot of people, but yeah, things have gone great. And then some of these things have gone where it's like, this was not expected. And it's not expected on like multiple levels. The hospital trips, the hospital charges that have incurred. No, I don't need prestige. Random. I just need the normal ones. That's it. I'm trying to get the thing for the title. That's it. That's all I need is Eater of Worlds and Spire of Stars. That's it. And I hate Spire of Stars. So a boss checkpoint on Spire would be wonderful. Eater is probably something we run through real quick, but if you can get a boss checkpoint for Eater, then that's great too, because then it settles it down. And the boss checkpoint, you can get a boss checkpoint for Eater, I think, on the second stage of it, which is even better. So, yeah. Oh, that's what I opened up Discord because I wanted to give Nabokov my Discord name.
Yeah. I can't even remember mine.
It's so stupid because you got a thing. You gotta stop. No. I'm trying to find where all that is. There it is. I think this is it, but I'm gonna put it in here anyway. I don't know. It's a stupid hashtag.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is my name on there. I don't know if you want to put a space in between that or not. I'm not sure. But there it is. Yeah, do you need the person? Okay. Let's see. We're talking about Destiny. Epic Games and Apple, they're still having their court thing. I ran across a lot of stuff there, and I was like, no one cares. Yeah. I used to care, and now I'm like, no one cares. No one cares about that. It's so weird the perspective you get in when you are feverish for 7 days. When you look at stuff and you're like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, you got something else on your mind.
It's so weird, though. It's so weird. But it's also weird how it carries over into, like, you know what, that really actually didn't matter at all. You know, even when it comes back to you and you're fine, it's just like, Am I not? It says I'm not accepting friends? Oh, jeez.
Great, a setting thing.
I don't know. Why I don't have that. Why would I have that set? I don't know, man. Well, you've got my name now, so send me like a message or something if you can. Because that's ridiculous. I don't. I'll have to look and see. There's no reason for me to have turned off accepting friends. What do we have? Xbox, blah, blah, blah. Cyberpunk got delayed to December. We talked about that. That's fine.
What was the reason for that? It was like a heck of a glitch they found?
No, it's the current. So the next-gen console's ready to go. The PC's ready to go. It's the current-gen consoles that they're not ready to go with.
Oh, okay.
And they still need more time, according to them.
Okay.
Which is, again, Cyberpunk is an easy point to, like, I'm ready to play Cyberpunk. Well, it's delayed. All right, well, I'll get ready again later. Oh, it's coming up. I'm ready to play Cyberpunk. It's delayed. Okay, I'll be ready again later. Cyberpunk's coming up on November. Well, yeah, I'm ready. Oh, it's delayed. All right, fine. I'll just get to you when I get to you.
So it'll be ready when it's ready.
It's like I'll play you.
I got a backlog to go through anyway.
Yeah,
200 titles. Good.
You know, I mean, it took it out of my Destiny range, but I was also in the sense of, you know, I don't know. Been a long time since I played a really in-depth like RPG type title.
Yeah.
You know? Let's see. What else do we have? We had a lot in here, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Nintendo Switch sold 68.3 million units worldwide. The Nintendo Switch in like year 3, I think it's year 3, maybe year 4, is still just killing it for Nintendo. Good job on them. Good job for them. For those of you, we are talking about new consoles. So far, you can't pre-order any of them, but and from what I understand, you will not really be able to pre-order unless you get some weird kind of luck and seeing one just pop up for sale somewhere. But
back of a truck, somewhere.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch was released March 3rd of 2017, so
even longer.
Yeah.
So, 3 years. Yeah. The Walmart will take online orders at launch for the Series X and the PlayStation 5. They will be online only. You will not be able to walk into the store. Best Buy is the same way. From what I understand, there's no store that you can walk into and pick up these consoles on launch day. There are stores that will have allocations set aside online for either delivery or in-store pickup, ship to store type of thing.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for one of these new consoles, you will have chances on launch day. I believe you will have chances, especially if you're looking at Christmas gifts and stuff. I believe you'll have chances between, launch day and Christmas. I don't think it's going to be that situation where it's like, these are hard to find. I think it will be a situation where allocations will be, steadily streaming in through like Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, Target, stuff like that, to where it's like, hey, we've got some consoles here today, pick them up, Yeah. But I think mostly it's going to be online. I don't think you're going to be able to honestly go into a store. I know that Best Buy for Black Friday will not have any systems in store for you to pick up. There will be some online that will go on sale, and you can get those and have them shipped, but there will not be any, just sort of like, let me walk into the store and grab a console.
Right.
That won't be happening this year. So. Sony reconfirms that the PlayStation 5 will not support SSD storage expansion at launch. Something to come down the road. Even worse, from what I understand, you can't copy over PlayStation 5 games to an external hard drive. So on the PlayStation 5, if you've got PS4 backwards compatible type games, those you can move over to an external hard drive if you need to. PlayStation 5 games, you don't yet have that ability. If you fill it up with PlayStation 5 games, you got to delete one in order to put another one on there.
Which I still think won't take long because, 667?
Yeah, I know, but it depends on how fast they can fix that and get that in there. So that the plan is to have that done.
Yeah. So one big reason not to jump at
yeah, when that's going to happen, I don't know, but the plan is that they will be able to do that.
Yeah.
Still, for both systems, games that you want to play cannot be run off of an external drive. You have to move the game over from your external drive onto the main system and then play it from there. Can that be ratified with a patch later on down the line? I fully expect that.
Yeah, can I put my old hard drive in there? Because, man, I'm telling you,
I fully expect that stuff to come on.
1 terabyte is not going to cut it. It's just not going to work.
But I fully expect that to be something that changes. Best Buy won't have they won't have them in stores this holiday season. They will have them online. Marvel's Avengers cost Square Enix about $60 some odd million in loss.
Nobody's playing it.
Yeah, they've just said it's had a problem. And of course, we're getting close to the end here. And of course, today we had the announcement of the Mass Effect remastered trilogy. From what I hear, it's not as much of a remaster as it's more of a collection with some updates here and there, but not really a whole big overhaul. It's going to be a collection of Game 1, 2, and 3, and I don't even think they're going to change Game 1's mechanics to what 2 and 3, how they played. Game 1, Mass Effect, the very first game, is going to play a lot different than Mass Effect 2 and 3, where they changed the gameplay mechanics to be more shootery.
Yeah.
Which is a weird word to say.
I'm trying to think of like a... No, it wasn't like that. I'm trying to think of like a Resident Evil collection. It was the same way all the way through.
Yeah.
A bad example of it.
Anyway,
I gotten to it.
we're at the end of the show here, and again, I want to thank everybody who reached out on Twitter, Facebook, and everything else about the whole Corona COVID stuff. Thank you so much for keeping me in your thoughts. We're not going to have a show. I just decided during the show we're not going to do one. We're not going to do one next week. I got a hospital visit on Thursday. It's a planned visit. It's considered outpatient surgery, assuming everything goes well. But I would rather just take that weekend and recoup if I gotta. And even if I don't, then I'm set. So we're just going to do that. We're just going to do that. Rather than
don't force yourself, man.
Not
Priorities.
plan.
Yeah.
And then whatever. Because I still, especially if they go in through the alternate entry to fix this thing, I got to climb them steps. So yeah, wanted to at least get a show out of here so that we could we keep our iTunes going because we haven't updated our iTunes in 3 weeks. So yeah, just wanted to get that out there, and yeah. Nabokov, you've got my thing. If you can send me like a instant message on Discord now, or shoot me an email, tell me what your name is. I'll reach out to you, whatever the case. On Discord, we'll get you in there. If you want to talk to us, we've got Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff. Just, get in touch with us. I, again, appreciate it. We're coming up on the top here. This is from a game called Raji, an Ancient Epic. Oh, this is a game. Add some music to it. So we'll see you in about 2 weeks. RJ,
Yo.
thank you for coming in.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
See you
Talk to you guys later.